Hi everybody, I'm Patrick.
And I'm Michael. This is another episode of Star Wars News and Views. Today, we're going to be talking about the Force Awakens soundtrack, and specifically the track listing has been released.
Spoilers.
So this is going to be, if you've watched our show, there's nothing on there that we didn't kind of already guess and talk about.
Yeah.
But yes, spoilers if you want to be not very spoiled.
On that note, we looked at them and there's nothing as big as the death of Qui-Gon Jinn on like the first one. So
yeah, I remember in 1999 they released this listing for the Phantom Menace soundtrack, and out of curiosity I went, I'm like, yeah, okay, pretty good, the pod race. And one of the last tracks is Qui-Gon's Noble End. We didn't know he was gonna die, and I'm like, oh my god. Luckily, I forgot about that by the time I saw the movie.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Like when I was in the moment, but then when it happened, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot he died.
Yeah, nothing that big on this one. I think they've learned from their mistake this time.
Yeah. So we're just gonna go basically in order, and they do correspond with all the story beats that we've sort of been rumored or have seen or have analyzed. The first thing's, of course, the main theme and the attack on the Jakku village.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that in the trailers in abundance. Like, we definitely know that's going to be kind of one of the first things they introduce to us.
Yeah.
After that, some of the other ones are a little bit, like more vague. There's the Scavenger.
That's Rey.
That's going to be Rey. I Can Fly Anything. I guess that's
also
her.
Rey.
Yeah. And then Rey meets BB-8. I mean, we see that in the trailers as well. Again, that's obviously Rey. Then there's one after that called Follow Me. I'm not really sure what that has to do with yet, but it maybe has to do with that scene between Rey and Finn, where they're running away together and stuff.
Yeah. And of course, after that, you get Rey's theme, and then you get the Falcon. So we know the Falcon comes to Jakku, and that they're on it at some point. Again, how does Han Solo and Chewbacca figure in there? We don't really know.
Yeah.
It doesn't really tell us there either. And then, of course, the girl with the staff, again, Rey.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
A lot of these have to do with Rey. I'm guessing she's definitely going to be kind of the main character in this one.
The next one is very interesting, though. It's called the Raftars with an exclamation point. I don't know. I'm not familiar with what that is or who that is.
Yeah, it could be like a race of people there or something that they meet, or I don't know.
Or maybe at Maz Kanata's place.
Yeah, that's true.
Like one of the aliens there.
The next one after that is kind of very spoilerish. This one is called Finn's Confession, and at this point we have never heard really anything that Finn had to confess for, other than maybe him just being a stormtrooper is enough of a confession. But
maybe he was present at the raid on Jakku.
Yeah, that's what we're kind of thinking right now, is that maybe he had something to do with that, and he's like gonna have to apologize and confess to like Rey or somebody about having to do with that. But other than that, though, still nothing too spoilerish. It's not like very specific. It's just now there's a hint of something else there.
Yeah. And of course, after that, you got Maz's Council, so they go see Maz Kanata. And then the Starkiller, introduction to Starkiller Base, I guess. The next two are kind of interesting. One, Kylo Ren arrives at the battle, and then the abduction, and we've seen him sort of taking Rey hostage.
Yeah, well, he's got the lightsaber to the back of her shoulder or whatever, and that's different than the Snow Planet fight that happens, so it seems like that's a separate incident, and he might take her prisoner.
And you see him walking around in the aftermath of the battle as well.
Yeah.
So.
Alright, the ones after that are Han and Leia. I mean, nothing really, I don't know, spoilers about this one. There's nothing really to say about it. It's just them.
Yeah.
Who knows, right? It could be some kind of slow thing that implies that they're still together, or something that's kind of like, they're broken up at some point. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It's just about them. After that, we have March of the Resistance. It's probably just going to be a scene where they're all getting ready to go fight somewhere, getting to the X-Wings or something.
Yeah.
Then after that, which is an interesting one, is Snoke. It just says Snoke, and I guess it's like there's going to be a scene with him at some point in the middle of the movie, and it's going to have his theme playing, which, if he's a main recurring character, which seems like he is, we're probably going to hear this one a few times over as the new sequels come out.
And then on the inside, which is maybe when Han and Finn and Chewie have to infiltrate a bunker or whatever they're doing. And then torn apart, so maybe they get separated. And Ways of the Force, I don't know, who knows, that could be... It could be anything. Yeah.
So after that, we have Scherzo, I think it's pronounced, for the X-Wings. It's sort of... I had to look this up because I'm not really sure all of the terms for these classical music ones, but I think this is sort of supposed to be a piece of a symphony that's kind of a bit more lighthearted. But it's weird that it's for the X-Wings. I'm not really sure why they have a playful theme for them.
Well, it could be just like a heroic fanfare, maybe.
Yeah, fair enough. It's just gonna be a small piece of music for that. After that, there's Farewell on the Trip. That doesn't really mean too much, other than maybe it's just gonna be near the end of the movie. And
I think. Well, maybe they're going to Skellig Michael to go with.
Luke. Maybe Farewell on the Trip is sort of like farewell to Rey or something. Maybe she's gonna stay, because the last one, most maybe spoilerish one, is the Jedi Steps and Finale. So like the Jedi steps at this point again from one of our previous episodes. It seems like Luke's the only Jedi left, so this is probably where they meet Luke, and Rey stays with him, and everyone else leaves her, and Luke alone to maybe learn the ways of the Force. Or Finn. I mean, at this point, he's the only one that we've seen with the lightsaber.
Yeah.
So it could be him too.
Yeah. So it looks like they've gone in chronological order through the film, like, because sometimes the tracks are out of order chronologically.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the X-wing theme one we might see a few times over. It might be like at the beginning, right when they're on Jakku, and then they play it again later. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
But that one, some of these other ones seem like they could be reused a lot.
Yeah. So I guess that's it. There's more for discussion. If you guys have anything to add, be sure to leave your comments. Whatever you thought of the soundtrack, it's not out yet, so we're just going off the titles.
Yeah.
So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next episode.